Listen up, coin hunters. Stop scrolling right now, because what I'm about to show you could completely change how you look at your pocket change forever. Millions of people in the United States are still spending these Lincoln Memorial pennies like they're worthless, like they're just 1-cent trash. But that is a huge mistake. Because today's market is exploding, collectors are fighting, auctions are going crazy, and some of these tiny copper and zinc pennies are now worth thousands of dollars each. Let's break down the top 3 most valuable Lincoln Memorial pennies with different mint marks, eras, and insane conditions that are shaking the coin world right now. Let's get started. First up. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you might honestly make you angry. You could have a coin sitting in your pocket right now, a simple 2001 penny, and you're treating it like trash. Meanwhile, collectors are hunting these things like treasure. This is the story of the 2001 Lincoln Memorial penny with double die eras, a coin people ignore but shouldn't. Let's get into it. Back in 2001, the United States Mint was mass-producing billions of pennies. The Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959, was nearing the end of its long run. By that year alone, over 5.3 billion coins were struck at the Denver Mint with the D Mint mark. So yeah, on the surface, this coin is common, nothing special, just another cent. Not all coins are created equal. Some of these 2001 D pennies were struck with double die errors, a mistake during the minting process where the design gets duplicated slightly. That means you might see doubling in the date, in Liberty, or even in God we Trust. And when that happens, that worthless coin suddenly becomes something collectors fight over. There are extreme error versions, like the famous mule error, where a penny was struck with the wrong reverse design. Those have sold for over $100,000 at auction. Think about that, 1 cent to 6 figures. This coin shows Abraham Lincoln facing right on the front, with inscriptions like Liberty and the date. On the back, you've got the Lincoln Memorial. It's made of copper-plated zinc, weighs about 2.5 grams, and the small D mint mark sits under the date. But the real feature, the one that matters, is the error, that subtle doubling that most people completely miss. Because rarity isn't just about how many coins were made, it's about how many survived with that error in good condition. Circulated coins, worn, scratched, faded, are usually worth almost nothing, sometimes just 1 cent, maybe a few cents. But a sharp, high-grade coin with a visible double die, that's where the demand explodes. Now let's talk money. In normal circulated condition, your 2001 D penny is basically worthless, face value, maybe $1 at best in average cases. But in high mint condition, graded coins have sold for $35, $50, even over $250, and top-tier examples have reached hundreds or even over $1,000, depending on rarity and grading. And if you somehow find a major error, you already know we're talking thousands, even 6 figures. If you're a collector, or even thinking about becoming one, stop ignoring your change. Get a magnifying glass, check the lettering, look for doubling, focus on condition, because most people miss these details, and that's exactly why the few who don't make money. Don't clean your coins, don't damage them, and if you think you've found something unusual, get it graded professionally. That one step could multiply its value overnight. The 2001 D Lincoln penny is not rare, but the right version of it is. And that's what makes this so frustrating, because people are literally spending these coins without realizing what they might have. Next up, you seriously need to stop ignoring those old, ugly coins sitting in your pocket, because that black, rusty-looking 1963 D Lincoln penny you almost threw away, it might not just be junk, but the truth is going to shock you. Let's get one thing straight right now, not every 1963 D penny is valuable. In fact, most of them are nearly worthless. And that's exactly why people keep making mistakes. They either throw away potential money or believe fake hype. Back in 1963, The United States was producing billions of Lincoln Memorial pennies. The Denver Mint alone struck over 1.7 billion coins with that tiny D mint mark under the date. That means this coin is common, mass-produced, flooded into circulation, but here, where things get interesting. The Lincoln Memorial design itself, introduced in 1959, features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the iconic memorial building on the back, a symbol of American history. These coins were made of 95% copper, giving them that classic reddish tone, but over time, they turn brown, then dark, then ugly. Now here where people get it all wrong. They see a blackened, rusty-looking penny and assume it's garbage. But that ugly condition, sometimes it hides details that matter. The 1963 D penny is made of 95% copper, and over time that copper reacts with air, moisture and dirt, creating that dark, almost burned appearance. But under that grime you'll still find Lincoln's profile, the Liberty inscription, and the date, 1963. Flip it over and the Lincoln Memorial stands there, with tiny details that can still be visible even on worn coins. And that small D under the date, that's Denver, that's identity, that's everything. And this is where people get it completely wrong. That black, rusty, corroded 1963 D penny you have, that condition is exactly what kills its value. Let me explain clearly. A standard 1963 D penny in worn, circulated condition, the kind that looks dirty, scratched, or oxidized, is usually worth just 1 cent to maybe 10 or 20 cents. Yes, just a few cents, nothing exciting. But now here's the part nobody tells you. The same coin, in perfect mint condition, bright red, shiny, untouched, can jump to hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Some top-grade examples have sold for over $7,000 at auction. So what's the difference? Condition, condition, condition. Collectors don't want ugly coins. They want perfection. They want that original red copper glow, not a dark, damaged surface. Once a coin turns brown or black, its desirability drops fast. Now let's talk rarity, because this is where hype gets dangerous. The 1963 D penny is not rare. There are billions of them. What is rare are specific versions. Coins with mint errors, like doubled letters, off-center strikes, or unusual details, can jump to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But if your coin is just worn, black and ordinary, then I'm going to be honest with you, it's not a hidden treasure. And people need to hear this. Too many videos are lying, telling you every old penny is valuable. That's simply not true. If you're a collector, here's what you should actually do. Start checking for shine, not just age. Look for sharp details, look for errors, and most importantly, stop cleaning your coins because that destroys value instantly. Store them properly, learn grading, and don't fall for hype. Because the real market today is very clear. Common 1963 D pennies, a few cents. High-grade or rare error coins, real money. That's the difference between trash and treasure. Next up, you're seriously telling me that a simple 1-cent coin, yes, just 1 cent, could be hiding real money and people are still ignoring it. Today we're talking about the 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark, and trust me, this coin is causing noise in the market right now. Let's get into it. Back in 1960, the United States Mint was pumping out billions of pennies. The Lincoln Memorial design had just started in 1959, honoring President Abraham Lincoln, and by 1960, production exploded, especially in Denver, which is where that little D mint mark comes from. In fact, over 1.5 billion coins were made in Denver alone. So at first glance, this coin looks common, ordinary, forgettable. This coin isn't just one coin. There are multiple hidden varieties. You've got the large date, the small date, and even error coins like the famous D over D mint mark. Most people don't even know what they're holding. On the front, you've got Lincoln's portrait. Sharp details in the hair can mean serious value. Right under the date, the tiny D mint mark. Flip it over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial Building, and if those columns are clear and crisp, collectors pay attention. The coin is made of 95% copper, weighs about 3.11 grams, and has that classic reddish tone when preserved well. But here's the truth that might make you angry. Most of these coins are barely worth more than 1 cent. Yeah, that's right. In very fine condition, which means the coin is worn but still has clear details, you're usually looking at just a small premium, often under $1, sometimes just a few cents. So why all the hype? Because condition and rarity change everything. If you happen to have a 1960D small date or a high-grade uncirculated coin with bright red color, suddenly you're not talking cents anymore. You're talking $5, $25, even hundreds of dollars in the right condition. And rare era versions, those can shoot into the thousands. That's the part nobody tells you clearly. It's not just the coin, it's the exact version and condition. Collectors are obsessed with this because it's a what-if coin. It's common enough to find, but rare enough in the right form to be valuable. That creates demand. So here's the reality check for collectors. Don't just look at the date and get excited. Check the size of the numbers, small date versus large date. Look closely at the mint mark. Use magnification. And most importantly, understand the condition grading. A worn coin is not the same as a sharp, red, uncirculated piece. And please, don't fall for fake hype online claiming every 1960D penny is worth thousands. That's just not true. So what's the final word? The 1960D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how the coin market works. One version is pocket change, another version is a hidden gem. The difference comes down to knowledge and attention to detail. So before you ignore that old penny in your drawer, take another look. Because the value might not be in the coin. It might be in what you failed to notice. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos on rare coins, collectibles, and the exciting world of numismatics. Stay curious and happy collecting.